pause. So because the next piece that he does is like 20, 25 minutes long. So that was actually a good place to stop. He talked about a couple different things that are really kind of cool. And no, they did not pull my, oh, sorry, here. Ready? For those of you on Facebook, Gun Websites is saying they pulled my stream. And I'm like, I don't think so. I stopped it unless that you were talking about something else. So as far as I know, y'all can still see me, all that fun stuff. Miss Gina, you were asking for me. Ta-da, here I am. And look, I have my DC project stuff behind me. So, all right. So here I'm getting my thing. So we're not supposed to rebroadcast stuff. Tony was watching for Tony's content being rebroadcasted. All right. Well, so this was a free event that Tony Robbins had put on this week. It's been 5 days of Tony Robbins. And thank you, Gina. Oh, sorry. Gina's all happy to see me. There you go. Penn, nice to see you. Thanks for checking in. We were just watching Tony Robbins replay of a free live event that he did this week. And every day you are online for me to restart a new one. So, sorry, I'm confused. Gun Websites, do you want to just call me? Tell me what I'm doing? Because he's like, may need to restart a new one if it doesn't come back on its own. If you're still commenting, then are you not seeing me? I'm a little confused. I am not good with all the technical side of things. To be fair, hey, Carrie, I wouldn't even be on here at all if it weren't for Gun Websites for helping me figure out how to broadcast both to Facebook and to whatever this is called, YouTube, all at the same time. Hey, John, how are you? Nice to see you. Not that I have any idea. All right, so I am back. All right, so we're all good now. And I'm early. I am super early. So for those of you who are here from the beginning, I had a Tony Robbins event thing going on this week. Monday through Friday, he did a special event where you had 2 hours for free to watch Tony. So I have so much stuff for you guys for Suicide Prevention Saturday, but I'm going to be good and wait until 9 because you guys are used to me being late, not early. So I would never expect my actual regular viewers to expect me to be early. And this is just one of those things. As far as Tony Robbins, I figure today so far I'm trying to get him to be quiet. I'm not trying to play him further because now G-Webs will be able to tell me. But he says I'm back. So it worked. But all right, we're good. It's Friday. Who here lives in New England and is all snowy and whatnot? I taught a range safety officer class today and via Zoom because some people could not get here. All right, Tony Robbins, 5 days. I actually have little notes. Oh, Carrie Ann, do you have lots of snow or just a little bit of snow? I'm like, I remember to put the things up, but I forget to take them back down. So we have like 6 inches, but it's like 6 inches of ridiculously hard packed, just insane. I got to tell you, walking through the snow on crutches totally sucks. So, all right, Carrie Ann totally has me beat with 2 feet of snow where we have like 6 inches of hard packed snow driven or wind driven snow. Francie, however, is missing the snow, and I understand that sentiment. I'm bummed that yes, Carrie Ann has her 2 feet, maybe more. Other parts of Connecticut have even more than that, like 3 feet, because some of the girls are supposed to come to class tomorrow. Can't make it because they are snowed in and they're not sure when the plow is coming down the road. So, all right, what else we got going on? So that was my week. 5 days of Tony, lots of stuff. I'm going to wait till 9, so we got like 8 more minutes to kill. And what else? I still have Christmas decorations out. I don't think this Christmas tree is ever going to get put away, and it's just going to stay here in my office because every so often you have to turn the lights on. All right. So my smarty pants friend out in California says, "What's snow?" But she knows. She's been places that there is snow. Don't let her fool you. She knows what snow is. She's seen it on TV at the very least. So that's Miss Gina. Oh gosh, there are so many things to talk about. If you're here in Connecticut, by the way, our legislative session starts in about a week and a half. It's oh my gosh, I'm not looking at a calendar, so I can't tell you what the date is. But it's not the first week of February. It's going to be in the second week of February. We are going to, and Gina, Carrie Ann is laughing at you. We're going to be doing a CCDL legislative talk a week from tomorrow. So whatever the date is for that, February something. My calendar used to be on the wall. I took it down for the 2021, and I have not yet put up a 2022 calendar, even though I have like 5 calendars in my house for 2022. So one of these days, I'll stop looking like this and not see the dates because I will finally put it up. So, anywho, there we go. What else? If you want to see Tony Robbins stuff, there is tons of free stuff on YouTube that you can go and look at. And I love it. I've been doing Tony Robbins stuff since 1990, maybe 1991. I've worked with Tony Robbins. I've been to most of his events, Unleash the Power Within, Date with Destiny. They've got Wealth Mastery. There's Date with Destiny is kind of the relationship one. Wealth Mastery is money. UPW is Unleash the Power Within, which is usually your entry drug into really getting into the Tony events. Fun, exciting news, because I've watched all of this, is that Tony Robbins has a new book coming out that's on health. I don't have the link or anything here, but if you're interested in health, he spent the last 3 years writing it. It's about health and longevity, the amazing things that they are doing with medicine. So things like burn victims. I believe he said there's something like 6 hospitals in America, in the US specifically, have a new tool for burns, in that it's basically a spray gun, and they can take stem cells and spray your face with them, and within a week it doesn't look like you were burned. So, pretty crazy stuff. All right, guys, you are watching me. I want to know, what fun stuff have you learned this week? It's been a week since I saw you. What's something good or cool that you have done to feed your brain something positive this week? I did 10 plus hours of Tony Robbins. I also was able to teach classes this week via Zoom, because being on crutches, and I did actually teach in person as well. I have done some of that at the range. So those are things I do to feed myself. What's an example of something you've done to feed yourself? Drop it in the chat, depending on, like on YouTube. I never know if it's the same for me, because for me, I'm looking at the chat, it's there. But I don't know if I'm opposite and the chat's really there for you. So anyhow, that's kind of that. All right, 4 minutes left. I need a drink because my throat's already dry because it's hot in here. What is this? As soon as I ask you guys to tell me what you've done. Greg, if you are still here, I know you have to have put something cool in your brain this week. If nothing else, you probably did a cool web podcast on Sunday with somebody cool. Because if you podcast with me, obviously you podcast with other cool people. Hi, Daniel. How are you? We are asking people, what did they do that was cool? I spent like 10 hours with Tony Robbins, and that was my thing for adding positive stuff. All right. Ooh, G-Webs. He went to SHOT Show, so he's got tons of stuff to edit, I am guessing. So everybody raved about SHOT Show this year. Loved that it was actually not crazy crowded and ridiculous, and people actually got to connect. Funny how that works. Connection is super important. We are definitely As a society currently, we are missing connection. We're really good at the, ooh, let's divide everything. Love, hate, love, hate. Yes, Miss Gina was at SHOT Show. You kind of can't miss her a lot of the times because she's like the tallest girl. Unless, of course, maybe Juliana is there or someone like that, because Juliana is also really tall. So, all right, what else? All right, Miss Carrie interviewed with local paper and met with her local rep. Carrie Ann Sampson Auclair is another one of our DC Project girls. She's the director in Massachusetts. So I'm going to guess that the interview was DC Project related. Oh yeah, I suppose if I'm going to talk about people, DC Project girls, Gina Roberts, this I can do, is our California director, I think. Well, the reason I say I think is because California is huge, and I think it has more than one director, but I'm not really sure. So, that sort of stuff. Ooh, 1 minute and counting, and I will get started immediately. All right, Gina says yes. So she is the California director. Now the other question is that yes, you guys have more than one, or you really just the one? All right, so there's only one. Okay, and that's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have one DC project director for each state. Just some of your all states are ridiculously huge, like, California, Texas, ginormous. And you need an army of people out in California to fight for our Second Amendment rights. All right, are we ready? Tick-tock, tick-tock, it's almost 9. I'm going to get started, and then I will be done before you know it, right? Dun, dun, dun. 9 o'clock. Hey everyone, this is Brooke Cheney, and it is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I have no idea what time it is in California. With Gina, who's watching, I could figure it out, but why bother? I am the owner instructor here at a Great Start Shooting School, and why else? What else? I am doing Suicide Prevention Saturday every Saturday night from 9 o'clock until I don't know when. I try to keep this short and simple because most of us spend too much time in front of our computers to begin with. So, I guess G-Webs is out west, so he can do the math faster than I can. So, I come on every Saturday to talk about suicide prevention. And my way of figuring suicide prevention out is at least talk about it. Because as a gun owner, when we hear gun violence in the media and in the news, the thing they never seem to talk about is that 2 out of every 3 gun deaths they're talking about when they're throwing baby shoes on the lawn in DC, that 2 out of every 3 of those is a suicide. So if we're looking to save lives as gun owners and regular citizens of America, we need to talk about suicide prevention because it is a huge problem across our nation. It's amazingly hard, especially for our preteens and our teens currently. Being sequestered at home, having to wear masks, this does not allow us to connect. All of our lives, from the beginning of time, when other people or tribes put masks on, it is to scare you, intimidate you, and make you fearful. And we cannot change that just because we know better, because someone is wearing a mask for a different reason. So, suicide prevention is super important. It's even more important in these past 2 years because I don't know what he's excited about, but he's excited about something. Masks are horrible for our psyche. It loses connection with one another if we cannot see our entire faces. People say, oh, but you can smile with your eyes. I'm like, yes, you can. However, the truth of the matter is we need to communicate with all of this. Think about when you talk to your dog. And those of you who don't have dogs, imagine what happens when you talk to your cats. And if you're not talking to your cats, imagine what happens when you talk to your fish. All right, we can understand our dogs, our cats, by how their ears are, or maybe how their tail is swishing, or something along those lines. All of our life, we have been taught how to read and pay attention to other people based on how all of this looks. For the past 2 years, we have been hidden and we are being separated by a little piece of cloth or fabric upon our faces. So with that, suicide prevention is super important. Our oh wait, hold on. Our society, apparently Guns talks to his fish. So um, our society is desperate need of mental health services. I've been talking to people across the country as well as here in Connecticut. We are actually going to be putting forth a lot of mental health bills in the Connecticut legislation um, this coming legislative session. Now, our legislative session is a little bit of a mess because our governor still has emergency powers for I don't know what, but he keeps asking for them. So, what do we need to do? One, we need to take our masks off so we can connect again. Two, we need to stop fighting over whether or not you should have a mask on or a mask off, because the psychological warfare that is happening because we're wearing masks is really bad. We're getting angry, right? If you love wearing your mask and you think you're saving someone's life, it's because you're focusing on a single thing. It's called being myopic. You're only thinking about my breath might or might not actually have that virus that may or may not actually infect somebody else. Whereas the psychological problems of wearing a mask all day long are much greater than the possibility of a virus that you're most likely to survive from. Do people die? Yes, yes, they do. One of the things in the Tony Robbins thing that was I was playing before, apparently against copyright rules because I didn't know, but T-Webs does. One of the things that will happen is that I lost my train of thought. I hate it when that happens. When you only pay attention to one thing, is a mask stopping disease? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Is it causing psychological damage? Yes, yes, it is. Do we need to connect today more than ever? Yeah. Last week, if you were with me, we talked about, I know, such a rebel. We talked about addiction, right? And how addiction levels also have risen like crazy over the past year, 2 years. People aren't connecting. People don't know how to deal with all the stress and uncertainty and scaredness. The media is doing a spectacular job about scaring the crap out of people, saying, oh my gosh, you're going to die. Everyone's going to die. There's going to be hospitals overflowing, etc. In the past 2 years, have there been hospitals overflowing? Yes. Yes, there have. Have they been overflowing across the nation equally? No, they have not. Where are they overflowing? They're overflowing in the places that have high population, whatever that's called, lots thick population in one area. So all of these things, how does it affect mental health, suicide prevention? We have to talk about these things without getting mad, without getting angry, and just talk about and understand. We have to look at the big picture. It's called being a holistic practitioner, in that you don't look at one thing and try to solve the one problem. You look at one problem to try to figure out how that one problem affects the other problem and the next one and the next one and the next one. So let's start with you. Earlier in this broadcast, when I was warming up, I was talking about what I have done this week to feed my brain positive stuff. And it was, I watched a free Tony Robbins event that went on from Monday through today for 2 hours. And just so you know, those of you who haven't been in a Tony event, 2 hours means 5 hours. And so that was me feeding my brain. I asked you guys, what have you done this week to feed your brain? And I got Carrie Ann. She went on an interview and she met her local rep in Massachusetts. Gun Websites was editing video from SHOT Show this week and getting back into routines from traveling. And our routines are actually very, very important when it comes to our mental clarity, because get up, brush your teeth, get dressed, go to work, come home, have dinner. Like, if that's your average day, it feels good and weird when you lose all of that. So routines are awesome as long as they're supporting you and doing good things for you. And the reason I say as long as they're supporting you, because if you have an addiction, part of your addiction is probably going to be part of your routine. So you want to make sure that your routines are supporting you. Now, y'all hang out here for 10, 15 minutes with me every Saturday, or at least on and off when you remember, right? Guns and barbecue. So hopefully this is something good to feed your brain. Greg Dwyer, who was on here earlier, I don't know where he is. He's a big Tony fan. He was here in the beginning. Greg Dwyer is another one who I know he feeds himself good stuff like Tony Robbins on a regular basis. So we have to make sure that with all the division that we are currently having, that we focus on how we make ourselves brighter, stronger, and better. And I got to tell you, it's been hard. It's not easy. The world is a bit of a mess. All right, so MK Joe is letting me know every Saturday. Thank you, sir or ma'am. Did I ever find out if you're a guy or a girl? If it's MK Joe, it could be either way. I guess I don't know. And I'm making fun of Guns and Barbecue simply for the fact that he's like, I missed it, and he'll put that in the comments. But apparently he has an excuse for last week because he was actually sick. So humor, laughter. Go watch a funny comedy. That will help have you in a better situation. What is your current state? Right now, as you sit here watching me, are you smiling with me? Are you getting animated? Are you watching me thinking, wow, when's she going to get to something I can actually use? I don't know. But being aware of how you're physically being. We've talked about this in the past. We'll talk about it again because I know even if MK Joe is always here, I suppose that's supposed to be a dude. Sorry. Even if you're always here, I'm going to repeat myself because how do we learn stuff? Repetition is the key to memorization or memorization. Yeah, anyway. So practice makes perfect. So be careful what you practice. And I'm going to remember that MK Joe is a dude. Maybe, kind of, possibly. I'm not promising anything. So what is your state? What is your state right now? Pay attention. Check in, right? Are you tired? Has it been a long day? It's Saturday night? Or is it, dude, I got my water here. I'm good to go for another 12 hours. I don't care. It's 9 o'clock at night. Some of us, I know this is past our bedtime. So what is your state? Not only now, but think about yesterday. Yeah. What was your state yesterday? Did you have a good day? Did you have a kind of day, or did you have a really crappy day? I can tell you that on Wednesday, I had an awesome day where I slammed my arm in the van door. So I like Wednesday afternoon, I'm like, how did that happen? How did I not remember that? And it was like, because I was wrestling a 85-pound German Shepherd and I forgot that I did that. So for a moment, I might have been a little bit cranky, but I'd forgotten about it until the bruise started showing. Thing is, this is physical and this is easy to see. We need to start being aware of how are we feeling on a regular basis. So that was my first post-it. I'm going to try to actually stay on track today. What is your state? Pay attention and be aware. Because once you start being aware, you have knowledge. Now, super important thing that Tony says, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. It is actually taking action that allows the knowledge you have to become powerful. So, we've done this before, you're going to do it again. All right, as you're sitting there, imagine for a moment, I'm very depressed. If I am very depressed, what do I look like? Am I looking at you in the face and smiling? No. My head is down. My shoulders are rounded. I'm not breathing very heavily. And I'm probably pretty quiet. And if I'm talking, I'm probably talking softly, right? So that's what depression looks like, yeah? you notice it. It's one of those things where maybe someone's being quiet, maybe they're depressed. But one of the things people ask all the time, people ask about how can I tell if someone's suicidal? I'm like, I don't know you can tell someone's suicidal, but you can see depression. You know that hunched over, bent down sort of thing. And you know it when you see it, right? So the problem is we're always looking at someone else when we see it. When we start to be aware of, is it us that is showing that? That's where we have even more power, because I want you to be a happy person. And no, don't just say, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. It's that I want you to really actually feel it from inside, because happiness is an inside job. And somewhere in our society, it seems as though you're supposed to be responsible for my happiness. You're supposed to give me all the likes so I get those dopamine hits every time I go on YouTube and Facebook. I was talking to Guns and Barbecue earlier about I'm trying not to be a attention whore when it comes to doing suicide prevention Saturdays, but I'm not going to lie. I love it that you guys check in, because I'm hoping that I can teach you one thing or make you think about one thing that you can then share with someone else. So, there we go. So inside, you need to make yourself happy from the inside out. So if you notice that you're kind of, oh my gosh, all you have to do is be aware, pick yourself up, put your shoulders back, put a smile on your face. And you know what? There is something to be said for fake it until you make it. If you smile, go ahead right now, do it. All of you, every last one of you, smile. See? I know some of us look funny when we force a smile. My son is number one. But just shoulders back, head up, take that big breath, right? You know, that breath that actually picks your shoulders up and actually makes your rib cage expand. This is one of those times I'm glad I'm not a large busted woman to do this expansion thing. So just do it. Tell me that you feel a difference, right? If you were sitting here passively enjoying my show here, then that's awesome. But sit up straight for a second. Give yourself the gift of feeling open, up, and awake. Although I'm going to bed after this. So we talked about what does depression look like. We know what that does, not only because we've seen it, but because we've done it too. All of us have done it. All that. So, Tara, good night. Tara's going to bed early. Oh no, she's got to get up early. Well, she's got to go to bed because she's going to get up early. Thank you, Tara. All right, so Guns is saying that he's worried about me because I shouldn't wrestle the 85-pound German Shepherd to show us bruise. Yeah, we could prop that. But if I didn't have the bruise, this is the beauty of this, right? Is that if I didn't have the pain and suffering, I wouldn't have the story. And this is another thing that Tony talked about this week, is that somewhere along the lines, people have gotten the idea life should be easy. And it should be painless. And this is going to go away. It hurt like heck that day, but I have a story to tell about it. I have something that I've learned from. Don't stick your arm in the door when the door is closing, and don't push the button that jammed it in there. So I learned from the pain. It's getting prettier. You know, it's got multiple colors now. It's like tie-dye. So pain and suffering is good as long as you learn it and you understand that broken bones are stronger after they heal, and that you have to focus on healing and the strength that you are getting. And I'm just trying to go back. Carrie Ann, thank you for saying that I'm doing a good job. And Gina, thank you as well. All right. Did I get caught up? I think I got caught up. Oh, barbecue. Yes, sir. You can tell anyone about me being a attention whore. It is what it is. Like I said, my whole thing, and although we should put in what you said back to me, which is we need more people to talk about suicide prevention. Jim, hello, sir. And let's see. Oh, late night last night. Gotcha. Yeah, there is that. Oh, am I trainable? No. I'm saying that when bad things happen, we can learn from the bad things. I am trainable in that there are pieces and parts of my life that seemed absolutely horrible. There's lots of things. Sexual abuse as a child, bullying as a child, being bullied as a child. I wasn't bullying other people. Those two things, it's when people are like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And it's just like, well, I wouldn't change it. Not because I think that people should be sexually abused. However, being sexually abused, um, being bullied as a kid helped me go through suicide and suicidal thoughts and depression. And because of those things, I am here now talking to you about this. So, bad things can become good things if you find the lesson that was in it. Now, for those of us who've had lots of bad things in our life, which guess what? Everybody raise your hand. Yeah, right here. Because all of us have had crap happen in our life, without a doubt. No doubt whatsoever. Crap in our life, 100%. We all have different pains and suffering in our lives. But we can look back on that. We can learn from that. If we put our hand on the stove, we learn to take it back off. So, gosh, I was going to try to stay on track, and it's already 20 minutes. So I hope you all stick with me. We talked about depression. What does it look like? So guess what my next Post-it note is? On change your body, change your state. Just like we did earlier. All you have to do is pick your head up and smile. All you have to do is put your shoulders back. And you know what sucks about that? It's like the stupid Nike commercial. Just do it. I'm like, every time someone says just do it, it's like, yeah, right here, buddy. That's like, no. So back to Gina Roberts' comment about proving that we are trainable. The answer should always be yes, because we want to train our brains and our bodies how to do the things that we should be doing to make ourselves feel better. Do we always need to be on? No, no one always needs to be on, but we need to know how to get where we want to be. And most of us do not want to live in depression, suicidal thoughts, all of that. In my 20s, I still had challenges with the suicidal thoughts and would tell my husband, yes, let's not put the knife somewhere else tonight, kind of thing, or don't let me go in the kitchen. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, nothing happened. I'm still here, right? Some people are not as lucky as I am. Some people don't find a way or don't have someone that they can lean on. So with that, what else do we need to know? Ready? I want you to look around the room you're in. Not my room. Look around the room you're in. Look around and just pay attention to everything that you see that is red, right? Whatever room you're looking at, right? So I'm looking in the screen because then I can see stuff behind me. So now that you've looked around, you've got a minute, you've got 15 more seconds, I should say. What's red, what's red, what's red, what's red, right? So now close your eyes. Without opening your eyes, tell me how many blue things are in your room. Can you think of any? Did you see any? All right, open your eyes. Now, do you see anything that's blue? Now, the question is, did you see red when you were looking for red? Did you see stuff that was, I don't know, orange-ish and call it red because it was sort of the color you wanted? We get what we're looking for. So, look for the things that are important to you. Look for the things that make you happy. Oh yeah, sorry. So my friend Guns and Barbecue, he's actually legally blind, so he legit can't do this exercise. So I didn't think about that. But the truth of the matter, even if he is legally blind, we still get what we're looking for, which is the whole point. And we always want to set ourselves up to win. What else do we have? Oh yeah, so that was the what color do you see? Pay attention to what you're focusing on. If all you focus on is pain and suffering in our world, you will see and find more of it. If you look at the things that are good, the things that are a blessing, your neighbors, your family, the people that are good to you, your friends that love you, your family that loves you, all of those things, the fact that you have internet connection, if you look for the good, like my friend Charlie said during his thing, is, sorry, so Carrie's on Facebook, is that he has a gratitude list every single day. And his gratitude list is him focusing on what are we thankful for. All right, sir, I have been going through a bit further because it's not 20, it's a long one. I apologize, but I will have an awesome suffering-free night. Yes, I will do my best. I cannot wait to hit my bed tonight. All right, last thing. Nope, two things. Another Tony Robbins thing. See, I made notes for you guys. Emotion is created by motion. I've been in this chair almost all day. I've gotten up a couple times. Physical motion, jumping up and down, running, dancing, all that good stuff. Emotions created by motion. The other thing, and the final one, or sorry, almost the final one, your voice, your speed. Not everyone wants to talk really quickly. And there are times when slow and quiet is the way to talk to someone. If someone is talking to you like this, thank you, I love being awesome. One of the coolest things you can ever do to connect with them is match how they are talking. If they're like Carrie Ann and they're super excited, they're going to tell you everything, you have to match her as well because it's easier to connect. Or sometimes you can get in the middle if you're not ready to go to that like high level Energizer Bunny level, which I look at Carrie Ann as being. You can find something in between. It's called matching and mirroring. Look it up on YouTube, all that fun stuff. So honest to goodness, my final and last sticky note. Wonder Woman and Superman. 2 minutes. All right. What does this mean? Do any of you know what this means? Here it is. Wonder Woman and Superman. How does Wonder Woman stand? How does Superman stand? Shoulders back, hands on hips, so on and so forth. So, double dog dare you. I won't do it because then it doesn't, there's not enough room. But it's been proven via a Harvard study, I'm pretty sure, that it is that if you stand like a superhero for 2 minutes, it is clinically proven to up your testosterone, up your ability to deal with conflict and challenges, and it lowers your stress level. 2 minutes is all it takes. Shoulders back, hands on hip, all that good stuff. So there you have it. My little post-it notes are all done. This was a much longer one than normal. I have a feeling I have to go back and take the Tony stuff out since G-Web said I actually got kicked out. So I will take it down and then I will repost it after I edit it for today. All right. Love you all for checking in. Oh, and educate, advocate, inspire, and mentor, organize, and protect. This is my current DC Project t-shirt. Feel free to go to dcproject.info and order your own t-shirt. Ooh, is it next week already? Special guest next week, Michael Sudini from Walk the Talk America. It's going to be all sorts of fun. And what do I need to know about Walk the Talk America? I don't know. Tune in next Saturday. Next Saturday, 9 o'clock. We will be on probably for an hour because that's usually what happens when I have guests. And anything else? Do you guys want to know anything? I've got Walk the Talk America, Michael Sudini on Saturday. There is going to be a special episode that following Wednesday where I have his partner Jake on. And I have other great guests coming up in March and April. Hold My Guns and oh my gosh, somebody else. So anyway, guests coming, more guests on the way. Look you all up next week and chat with some of you here and there. Thank you, G-Webs. And you all have a great week as well. talk to you later.